Welcome back, everyone. This is Arafallon playing Dungeon Breaker, and last time we had a lot of twists and turns. Long story short, the king, with his crystal that he got from the Duke before executing him, and Jade helping him out, showed up as we were trying to unseal the seal thing, sees the stones, sees the additional one that Karen had taken from Alec and replaced with a decoy, released the seal, basically held not just Tina, but also Celsia hostage. Apparently he doesn't care one bit about her as long as she's not helping his ends. Because he's basically a power-hungry maniac and wants to become more powerful than death, pretty much. The Paladins, however, show up at the last minute to save them because the king's being excommunicated for his use of heretical power. The king doesn't even try to deny it, he doesn't even care, he just summons a horde of monsters that attack everyone indiscriminately, while he and his followers and Tina, who he seized after realizing that she has the pointy ears that are the mark of a divine beast, have gone through to the other side of whatever door opened when the seal was released. Karen was badly hurt when Jade basically threw her own magic back at her. Tina and Alec, although not physically hurt, are rather traumatized. But in any case, we're starting this chapter, and Alec is like, where am I? What's going on? And this white space he's seeing kind of splits, and through it he sees some kind of green spreading, and this looks like the woods outside the village. And unknown, presumably Alec from the color, is calling out to Karen, saying, over here. And this, it would seem, is Karen, but rather younger. And she's saying, aren't you scared to be going out this far? He says, I'm fine. Come on, this way. If you're like that, you might fall. Yes, you may recall way back at the beginning when Alec and Tina went to the cave near the village to look for the bandits, or, well, they didn't know there were bandits, monsters at that point, that attacked the merchant. He remembered Karen being kind of a scaredy cat, which Tina did not remember. She's always remembered Karen being very, reliable and level-headed. And here's apparently President Alec saying, is that me? Oh right, that's when I was little, and that next to me is Karen. And here they are up in the hills by the cave, apparently. Yeah, this is the cave by Kana Village. This is where our journey started. And she's telling him, oh, my mom said there's monsters here. You can't get close to it. Alec says, not over there, over here. This small opening crawls into a cave. Karen hesitantly falls when he doesn't come out. And it's the kind of little opening that only a child could fit through. And before Karen can say anything, Alec's there on all fours, crawling through. She's trying to tell him not to go into such a narrow place. These clothes I just got are getting all dirty, Mom's going to get mad. But she keeps following him. So for a few minutes they're crawling through the darkness and eventually find a pale light. This looks awfully familiar, doesn't it? So he's kind of showing it off to her, and he's like, what is this? I've never seen anything like it. There's this room with these strange walls, and probably some ancient ruins. It's like, isn't it cool? I found this place. He kind of puffs his chest out with pride at her reaction. But she's wondering, is it okay to be in here? Isn't someone going to get mad? Child Alec is saying, it's fine, this can be our secret base, just don't tell anyone. So, whistle, starts feeling around the walls, and she's interested, starts looking around. finds something she can't touch. Alec's curious, wondering where this is. There's this place with these blue stone embedded in it, or jewel. And she tries to touch it, but it's like there's an invisible wall holding her back. Alec goes for it, reaches out. It's like, I can touch it, no problem. She can't believe it, but he's like, yeah, I can, see? He just keeps tapping it. And Karen tries, but she still can't touch it. But it's such a pretty stone, I want to touch it too. Yeah, there's a red one over here too, and a green one. That sounds familiar, doesn't it? A blue stone, a red stone, a green stone. Something's rumbling. And the whole room is shaking. So they kind of get surprised, cling to each other. The wall's moving. So yes, a section of wall big enough for an adult to get through is sliding open. And who's this? A girl about the same age as Tina. Rolls out like a ball. A girl? She gets up and looks at them curiously. And Alec at this point is just disappointed because he's... Oh, I'm not the first one to find this place. He kind of kicks at the stones with dissatisfaction, approaches the girl. Hey, what's your name? Tilts her head. Don't you even know your name? I'm Alec, that's Karen. And he says, okay, fine, this can be yours and mine and Karen's secret base. She's parroting back secret base. It's easily amused anyway, kind of raising her hands in a bonsai thing. And Alec and the girl start running around. But Karen's not getting close to her because she's noticed those ears. They're too long and pointy to be human. She points out her ears. Because all the little boys and girls in the village are told that if someone looks very similar to human but something's not quite right, that means they're a monster. And monsters hurt people and attack them and sometimes even eat them. And Alec says, it's inconvenient if you don't have a name, so your name's Tina. Karen reacts because apparently something about that name is... Because it seems Karen had an imaginary little sister. It's the only person around her age that she was kind of close to in the village was Alec, and Alec is always getting into mischief. So she imagined having a little sister, she'd mentioned that to Alec and said a little about it, and her imaginary little sister's name is Tina. Yeah, that. And again, she seems thrilled with this. But anyway, this Tina hears that name and reacts to it, and she's smiling and whatever, and she's kind of... Yeah, the Tina standing in front of her and the Tina in her imagination kind of start blending together. And here's this. We have another new character at the strangely late point in the game. Although, in a sense, it's strangely early because this was quite some time ago. There's this elderly woman who shows up. It's like she noticed the seal being broken, and it's a bunch of kids. She seems rather exasperated, saying something about Ra Valtiana giving the qualities potential for a monster tamer to someone who's not even a wizard. A child at that. Hey, you're the old lady who lives on the edge of the village, or... Alec and Karen, you know you're not supposed to come here. She apologizes because that's how she is. It's the old woman who goes on the edge of the village. There are rumors that she does these suspicious spells and whatever, and the children are told not to get too close to her. Seems like they'll have a lot of don't get too close to things going around the village. Some of it more true than others, but that's typical enough. The adults seem respectful enough of her, but they're also not too inclined to get too close to her. And the kids are just scared of her. And she's trying to urge the divine beast back into the seal for her own good. Grabs her arm, starts trying to pull her towards it. And she doesn't want to go back. Calls out to the two of them. Like, hey, what are you doing with Tina? You've even given her a name? I'm just putting her someplace safe. Like, you're saying it's safe, but she doesn't want to go. Let her go. And what if I do let her go? There'll be bad guys after her. Will you be able to protect this girl you call Tina? Yeah, I'll protect her. And she's basically calling him a fool and saying, you're still a bedwetting kid, what can you do? That has nothing to do with this. Oh, but it does, and even if the bad guys don't come after her, you're still going to need to keep her fed. You can't even take care of yourself, so what can you do? And it seems the old woman is also a survivor of the Wizara, because she's talking about her Wizara ancestors and how this poor child is something called a divine beast that was created by them. So, as a Wizara, she needs to look out for her. Do you really want me to pass that responsibility on to you? And he doesn't understand what she's saying. And she's not impressed. This isn't going anywhere. Kind of brushes Alec off, starts trying to take Tina back into the seal again. And then Karen calls out. Saying, I'll protect her and I'll give her half my food. So don't take my sister away. And she stops and walks back to her. And Karen's kind of trembling with fear, but she's not backing down. Sister, you say? Are you prepared to make her your sister?
Hi.
That's a yes. And what are you going to tell your parents? They're not going to accept this. Says, I'll convince them, and besides, they've been wanting another child. I see, a child with pointy ears. Aren't you afraid of this girl with pointy ears? Karen says, I'm fine, even if her ears are pointy, she's still my sister. Are you, then? But we do need to make sure that others don't find out she's there. Karen, do you know what magic is? Like this. And she kind of snaps her finger, and there's a sound, and Alec is blown off his feet. Like, hey, that hurt. What are you doing? And while he's lying there on the ground, she puts a hand on his forehead. Makes kind of confused noise, and then says, hey, what am I doing lying on the ground? I was just standing up. Like this, you see. She's talking about how you can use magic to change the villagers' memories. Make it so that Tina was her sister from the beginning. Hide your ears so no one can see them. And then you'll be able to make Tina your sister. Use magic? And of course, all the children in the village know of magic as this bad thing. And in their church lessons, aside from being taught how to read and write and all that, they're also taught about things like how magic is horribly evil and those who use magic are demons and... But Kara nods. Fine. The old woman nods with satisfaction. I see. Then we'll need to make sure you can use magic. What? Me? Magic to change memories, magic to change appearance. These don't last for years on end. And I'm not going to live forever. If you want to protect her, you'll need to protect her with your own magic. See determination? Ra Valtiana might even have been able to make her human, but that's beyond me. And Alec calls out to her and says, I don't really get the hard stuff, but it sounds like you get to be your sister. She's so cute. You've got to report to Mom and Dad, he's saying. And she says his memory needs to be the first to go. And here he is in his room in Celsia's mansion in the present. He's realized he's finally remembered everything, that Karen used magic to block his memories. And here's Roy saying, you're finally up. We're in Celsia's mansion? How's everyone doing? Karen's going to survive, so that's good. Celsia is still bedridden from emotional shock. But what's all this that's going on with this god person and divine beasts and the crystal and all? Tina's my childhood friend. She's been with me all these years. I only recently found out about her ears being pointy, but other than that, she's no different from any other human. What's this divine beast stuff and this god person? I'm getting Tina back, no matter what. It seems that this god person is the ultimate weapon that the Wizard left behind. Although they have overwhelming power, it seems there are so few of them that the surrounding countries were able to keep them under control, basically. So the Wizard made what you might call the ultimate monster. No, it's the Wizard that there were so few of. So despite how powerful they were, there were few enough of them that the other countries were able to keep them in check, and so they came up with this ultimate monster. So it's a weapon, it's an object of faith, it's supposed to be something beyond belief. So that's what this god person, or whatever, is. About 100 years ago, the Wizard created this. And now it's been unsealed by the Wizard and those who want their power, basically. This thing drains the life force from those around it, and can bring itself back to life any number of times. Yeah, I'm having some trouble parsing this, especially this part, something about Zar, which is part of the word bizarre, but not that. Something about then the surrounding thousands of Zar, scorched earth. Something about the magic weapons the Wizard used, releasing their seals and using that to finish it off. But basically the gist of this that I'm getting is it was a desperate battle and it was only barely managed to stop it. I guess this is some kind of unit of measurement, because he's talking about this being like enough to account for an entire country. Yes, exactly. That easily? Yeah, basically what I'm getting from this is that the church heretic investigator people tried to infiltrate them before that to stop it, but it didn't work. Yeah, they had their eyes on Duke Bastarch and Karen Eschmark, but they weren't expecting the king himself to jump into the fray. He apologizes to Alec, but says we have Karen in custody. What's the meaning of this? She used forbidden sorcery. That alone is enough for someone to be executed. But for now, he needs backup from church headquarters and needs to get in contact with them. And with his trademark grin, he's telling Alec, well, if you want to run away or if there's anything else you want to do, make it quick. Which is all but encouraging him to go do something about the situation before the authorities get here. Like, I've got to save Tina, but... We have a maid dropping in saying Celsia is calling for him. Please come to her room. That's a good sign. She's up on her feet and talking again. Not completely out of it. He's asking how she is. Of course, she's not physically hurt at all. But on the inside, yeah. She's realized her father doesn't care about her one bit. Nothing's really changed. And Karen's deceived me? Taking and hiding the sealing stone and that magic. Alec assures her I had no idea either, but she must have had a reason for it. Once she wakes up, I'm sure she'll explain it all. Celsia wants to believe that, but she clings to him. I can't trust anyone. You're the only one I can trust. Please stay by my side. He hugs her tight. Let's stay like this for now. But I have to go save Tina. I'm sorry, Celsia. But you just gave me a lot of courage. I know I need to save Tina, but I didn't know what to do, and I was too scared to do it. So I was seriously thinking about just running off with you so we could be together. But that's not going to work. Even if I'm by your side, that's still just running away. Like, are you leaving? You're not going to stay with me? I'm sorry. She's asking him to share that courage with her, and, well, nope, it was one of those scenes. But perhaps it's just what they needed. In any case, he's going now. She tells him to promise he'll come back. He doesn't answer, but he does smile back at her as he leaves. And that's another lot of scenes. Next time, hopefully we'll get back to some actual gameplay. But for now, that's a lot explained, and a lot still to be done. This has been Arafellin playing Dungeon Breaker. Come back next time, and things will start happening again. Hope to see you then.